Howdy everyone, Matt and Mateo here, coming at you with another orthopedic special test. And this one is for the cervical spine. It is the 10-second grip and release test. Now this test came from a paper back in 1987 in which the researchers were describing tests to diagnose myelopathy hands. And they came up with this test to diagnose a cervical myelopathy. And the reason for it and how it kind of came about was that they noticed that people who do have this cervical myelopathy have a difficulty in extending their hands, especially, they said, the ulnar 2 to 3 digits. And so let's get in how to do it. To perform this test, it's pretty straightforward, just like it says. And I'll demonstrate it because Mateo is going to have a little difficulty doing so. But what you have the person do, just sitting comfortably in the evaluation, you just have them, you just demonstrate it. So I want you to have your hands all the way straight. I want you to close them and then extend them back out. And I want you to do that as quickly as possible. And then what you are going to do is just have a 10-second timer and count the number of repetitions they can do in that 10 seconds. So there's coming up and just doing that right there. And it is, they said the norms for it is 20. So they should be able to do that 20 times in 10 seconds. And if they can't, then it's possible that they do have a cervical myelopathy. So you're getting on the research on this test. The original paper didn't discuss any sensitivity specificity in there, but there has been some later research on it. And in this research article, they were looking at visually versus a camera and machine learning to count the number of repetitions. So either you do it visually and then we will use the machine learning. And they found that visually the sensitivity and specificity drop. So visually the sensitivity is 79% and the specificity is 86%. However, using the camera and the machine learning, it made it more specific and more sensitive. And so it was at a 90% sensitivity and at 88% specificity. Now, I want to talk a little bit about those norms. Now, the original article did say that the norm cutoff was at 20. However, they did do some research to say, there can be differences in the norms based upon the decade of age. So up into the 40s, the norm is in the 20 repetition. But as you get into the 50s, it goes to 19, 60s, 17, and then the 70s, 16. So as we get older, the norms kind of drop a little bit, and that kind of makes sense. Now, there was another article out there, I think it was just that's like a prospective study, that they were saying that this is possibly a little bit more diagnostic of something going on around C6. Just kind of that information out there. There's not a lot has come from it, but I just want to put that in there as well. But anyway, that is the 10-second grip and release test. Let me know, have you ever heard of it? Do you actually utilize it? Or are you going to add it into your practice? I will say, I just did this with a patient the other day, and I do believe I did find a little something in it. So it was kind of interesting to add this in for myself. But anyway, let us know down in the comments below. And as Mateo always says, take care of yourself, take care of your patients. We'll see you next time.